I mean, what the fuck is with this?
Hey, Shalom, Yahal Ba'ashim Yahushai, Barakatham to the brothers. Shalom, Yahal Shamar, Ilathah Ba'ashim Yahushai to the sisters. This is the ISUPK, South 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the one and only Commander General Yana. You understand? This is the Tuesday ISUPK Las Vegas Brotherhood class, and I am Priest and Officer 500, Iraq. All right. And today, what we're going to be going over is, well, first, sis, are you able to tell me what, in the heathens world, what is significant or what's not significant? I don't even think it's significant for them. They try to act like it is. But what's going on today? What happened today?
Oh, all those crazy people went to vote.
Right. So they're doing voting. So we're going to talk about voting a little bit. Right, and then we're gonna pick up from where we left off last week. You understand? With that topic being how important it is for so-called blacks, Hispanics, so like blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women to come together. You understand? In the ISUPK under Commander General Yana. You understand? I'm starting off with the voting. Just because it slick does go together with the main topic carried on from last week. You understand? Before we get into that, though, I'm just gonna ask that y'all make sure that y'all like and share the video. Babu Kushai. You understand? It's important that we all do our part to spread out this truth to the four corners of the earth. You understand? There could be somebody on your timeline that is looking to change their lives around for the better. A so-called black Hispanic, it's like a so-called black Latino First Nation man or woman. You understand? And quite frankly, for those said people, the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, the only way for them to actually do that properly is by serving the Most High God and obeying to His law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? So I'm just going to ask that y'all do your part to like and share. Make sure you also follow and subscribe to our YouTube page, ISUPK Nevada, for those of y'all that haven't already done it. Make sure you also hit the little bell sign so that you can get all the notifications for any time that we have new content for y'all to view and for y'all's edification. You understand? And then obviously also on Facebook, ISUPK Las Vegas. Make sure you thumbs up the page. You understand? And then also, if there's anybody that's online or in the classroom, feel free to post your questions. Obviously, sis, if you got any questions, raise your hand and I'll call for that after I'm done. If y'all have any questions online, post it in the chat, and I will answer it to the best of my ability scripturally. If I'm unable to answer it scripturally myself, I will ask a mightier man than myself. You understand? This is not the Christian church where we're going to feed y'all a bunch of nonsense to make you feel good or just tell you what you hear. We're not after your money. We're not after your time. We're not after your box. You understand? We're actually here to edify our people. You understand? So, be sure to ask your questions. The only dumb question is a question that ain't asked. All right. So, all right. With that, sis, did you have any questions? Before we start off? All right, let's sweat. Let me go ahead and pull up my notes. And I've done my part. And then we'll get this going. It gives them a little bit of time to post it if anyone is online with a question. So like I said, we're going to start off with voting, right? And, as a so-called black Latino First Nation man and woman, that's not something we should be partaking in, all right? And can anybody online or in the classroom tell me as to why we should not be partaking in voting? Sis?
Because we already have our king. The Most High gave us Yahushua, so we don't have to vote anybody in rulership over us.
Okay, that's right.
Especially not a heathen.
That's right. Do you think there's anything else? You want to take another stab at it?
Voting doesn't change anything.
Okay.
I mean, they've been doing it for eons, and nothing has changed. from the first president they had to this one they got, nothing has ever changed for Israelites. So
That's right.
It's just useless.
That's right. Okay, so I mean, all of that is correct. But what I'm actually looking for is very simple: the fact that the Most High God said not to. The Most High God doesn't want us, picking, sitting here voting and taking on the ways of the heathen. The whole democracy and voting, to put somebody in a seat of power and whatnot. That is a custom of the heathen. You understand? And that's something that the Most High God had told us not to do. All right. Let's see. We're starting off at Book of Exodus. So we're going to start off at the Book of Exodus, chapter 23 and verse 8. All right. Now, just like a little cheat code for those of y'all that are, Lord allowed, those of y'all that are new, a little, I call it a lifeline, life rail. With a lot of the questions that we ask in these classes, most of the time we're going to give you guys questions where the answer is just as simple as, just to make it, that needs to be as simple as possible, which majority of the time it's going to be something like, what I had just asked. And it's going to be, the answer is going to be, because the Lord said not to do it. You understand? Is everything to what? Oh, okay. Are they coming to class?
Nah.
Okay, all right, no sweat. All right, so we're going to start off at the book of Exodus, chapter 23 and verse 8. All right, the book of Exodus, chapter 23 and verse 8. Let's get this going. Book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 8. And thou shalt take no gift, for the gift blindeth the wise and perverteth the words of the righteous. You understand? So now with the topic being on voting, right? And then also, let's also, keep this tied in with, keep in mind, the things that are going on with like Kyrie Irving, right? That's how he says his name, Kyrie Irving. Irving, okay. Kyrie Irving, Kanye West, you understand? And at one time, Nick Cannon, which this actually, this is a good scripture for what, his whole, we'll say 360 that he actually did, and literally a 360. This actually applies to them as well. And so we're going to kind of break both of those down, right? But from the angle of voting, right, putting, with where it says, thou shalt take no gift, for the gift blindeth the wise and perverteth the words of the righteous. Now, how does that apply to, I guess you could just say politics? In what way does that apply to politics?
The monies.
Okay, so the money.
Yeah, the monies that they take to turn a blind eye.
Okay, all right. So now give me more though. Don't leave it at just a blind eye, right? So I'm a politician, and you're fundraising me, right?
Uh-huh.
What am I turning a blind eye to when you give me that money?
Everything that you promised you were going to do for your people that voted for you, for the people that are out rallying for you.
So, like, give me an example. Like, are you able to give me like an example that you actually know off the top of your head?
Well, yeah, they're gonna, do reduce your taxes. They're gonna increase the money from employment. They're gonna raise your wages. The minimum wage is gonna raise, or
they'll up the taxes, but only up the taxes on the poor and pretty much the poor. There isn't even classes anymore. No, it's just two.
It's just rich and poor.
Right, exactly. Okay. The sister Shonda Banks, I believe that's his sister. She said the lies. That's a great answer right there in itself. Right? Or even, let's say it's a politician dealing with a church. Because that is the reality of things as well. Like the Christian church, the politicians are in cahoots with the Christian church. Or, my rib last night, she just watched for the first time, such a shame. Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? You understand? One of the governors was, a part of the KKK. You understand? So either they're in the cahoots with it, or they got one foot in one field and the other foot in another field.
That's right.
You understand? These people are going to be perverting what is right. They're going to be changing what is right. And one of the prime examples is, when I was a kid, I was raised on, the whole LGBTQ community was not something to be associated with. But now when you turn on the TV, what is it? Oh, everybody needs to love each other. And matter of fact, let's put it in all the shows and the movies. Those things come from, the people that y'all vote for.
That's right.
You understand? And to even tie it into, even with the churches, mind you, they're allowing them in y'all's churches. Yeah. First of all, they don't believe in what is actually written in the Bible in the first place, right? But also, again, all over again, they got, your preacher has one foot in this door or on this field and his other foot in the other field. You understand? But of course, I got you, sis, 1 second. And then of course, just with the politician dealing with the preacher himself. You understand? Let's take, for example, somebody like IUIC, GOCC, these other camps. Y'all don't think, in the midst of everything that they're doing, why is it doing that? In the midst of what they are doing, these people are, they have, how do you say, what do y'all call it? Agents. They have agents to trip you up. And how do you know that they do? They said it in their camp speakings, so-called camp speakings, that if you're in trouble, they'll turn you in.
That's right.
You understand?
That's
if
right.
you have a warrant for your arrest, they will turn you in. You understand? Not realizing that Christ had a warrant. You understand? Go ahead, sis. You had something?
Concert, when you were talking about the lies, so is Isaiah 5:20 a good precept for that?
Isaiah 5:20. Let me get there. Let's check it out. And you're referring to the lies when we spoke about the lies, right?
Mm-hmm.
5:20. All right, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Now let's go back to Exodus 23:8. What does it say? And thou shalt take no gift, for the gift blindeth the wise and perverteth the words of the righteous. Do you know what the word pervert means? Sis? Do you know what the word pervert means?
To make nasty.
Let's look it up.
Yeah.
Let's look it up. And then this in itself will answer your question about that being a precept. Pervert, verb. So in this case, in Exodus 23 and 8, we want the verb, right? To alter something from its original course. Meaning, from its original course, meaning, or state to a distortion or corruption of what was first intended. So now I'm going to answer your question with the question. Do you think that those go together? Does that sound like it goes together, especially with having the understanding of what the word pervert means? Because mind you, right here it says, and perverted the words of the righteous. Now we just learned that pervert means to alter something from its original course, meaning, or state to a distortion or corruption of what was first intended.
Absolutely.
So yeah, kind of. No, and that was a great. Oh, yeah, more.
Well, the reason I was saying it is because when you said, one foot over here, one foot over there, then I thought, right, they're turning everything good evil and everything evil good. And so
no,
that's
exactly.
what I was thinking.
No, Most High Christ. No, that's an excellent precept right there, especially for, that verse right there, right? And then also let us not forget, because we're not gonna forget about what I said. We was also gonna tie into this one scripture with Exodus 23:8, because this is still a current event that is going on with Kanye and Kyrie. But the thing is Nick Cannon is who this applies to. Really.
Absolutely.
You understand? And why? Yeah, Constance.
Because they made him turn on his own God. He actually sold God out, and but the Most High let him know that he was the boss because he took his baby from him. But anyway, he sold him out, and he actually gave money to those people, and he went to see all of this stuff that they were talking about, and maybe he needs to get a better understanding and stuff like that. So he the gift destroyed his heart.
No, facts. No, big facts. Now, I will just say that I wouldn't necessarily teach that the Most High had took his child for that. So, you know what I'm saying? So,
that's my personal opinion.
No, okay. We just won't teach that.
That's right.
All right. Doggone it. I lost my freaking place on my notes. So, lucky, y'all. Hold on one second. My phone tripping. All right. So now we're gonna drop that. We're gonna actually just go up to verse 1 now. So Exodus 23:1, right? Thou shalt not raise a false report. Put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. Now, how does that, first of all, see, again, this is another scripture that goes on with today's events on multi-levels, right? Multi-levels, because again, the politics, another reason why we should not vote in the first place, because every time, Salakia, you get two types of, what are they called? They're not, technically it's not advertisement. What do they call it though? Is it advertising? Is it considered advertisement? Mm-hmm. Is campaigning advertisement? Campaigning propaganda? Whatever, right? Propaganda might be wrong. I'm just back into school, y'all, so I'm relearning words. But with these, these campaign ads. So yeah, it is advertising. These campaign ads, you get two different ones. Either the whole message is they're bashing someone. So all of a sudden, it's only during this time that when you and I are battling for the first, the same seat. Now I want to talk about how this is the type of person that you were, and this, that, and the other, even though that, when we wouldn't compete for the same seat, I was co-signing with what you wanted, right? We was allies then, right?
Right.
Or you have them trying to big up themselves. But then what comes up out of that is their opponent will say, okay, no, but this is a lie. And this is why. You understand? They're going to sit here and, just like what it even says in verse 8, they're going to pervert everything that they're saying in these doggone campaign ads. So at the end of the day, what can you really even trust? Y'all are literally casting lots in the dark and just assuming you're going to come up on top when you go and cast your ballot and vote for, this heathen and that heathen. But at the end of the day, don't give a rat's ass about you, Black, Latino, and First Nation man and woman. They could care less. Now, what is being surfaced, though, I will just say this as a quick side note. What is coming to the surface is the same exact thing that we've been teaching in the ISUPK for the longest. That if we separate from these doggone people, they're gonna, their economy is going to just fall off. And guess who is being projected to go bankrupt? Adidas, because Adidas, cut ties with Kanye West. You understand now? So I know I said it was a quick side note, but that is an excellent teaching point. That right there. Now, is Kanye West in the truth? No, but is he at least walking through the small steps of doing the right things? I mean, part of being in the truth, part of coming into the truth in the first place is just simply separating.
That's right.
You understand? And that's exactly what Kanye West has, he has done. He got himself separated from these companies. And because of that, he's being rewarded where the things that he spoke on are coming to fruition. It's them across the street. Don't worry about it, sis. It's coming to fruition. You understand? Not necessarily. It's not fruition. It's being revealed. You understand? Because he was basically saying, hey, the media, the music, all of these things is all owned by these fake Jews. You understand? And they're gonna. I believe he even said that eventually they're gonna cancel him off as well before it actually happened. Then they did, so there was fruition that happened. Then they did, and mind you, before they did it, they denied everything that he was claiming to be true. And then what happened right after, they started to cancel him. Now all of those companies that the fake Jews owned started cutting him off, which in turn is backfiring. Go ahead, sis.
And so, like you said, I was watching one of the things on YouTube because I was watching the class that Commander Junior High last night, and there was a clip that they put on, and they were saying that these people, everything Kanye was saying was a lie, right? So Kanye picked up his phone and he started rattling off all of the stuff that the Jewish man, he was over the Nike, the Netflix, the Google, the Pixar, anything you could think of, he was in charge of all of it. Kanye's like, so like, I'm lying about something? I'm not lying about anything. You see that they own all of this. Right. They are running everything.
Right.
But they're just really special.
No, right. The sister said, Israel has always carried Adidas, starting all the way back to DMC. And isn't Adidas, is anyone able to tell me if Adidas is that the German-owned company or was that Jewish-owned?
I think it's Jewish in the United States.
It's Jewish in the United States?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Because I know there was like a couple of actual German owned, and hell, it could even be Jewish German. But yeah. But you know what I'm saying? These companies only, she said, okay, she believes Jewish. These companies, like the sister said, I've been carried by blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women. Now, and I'm just gonna go ahead and assume what she means in the context of carry, and you correct me if I'm incorrect, sis. She means carry, meaning like our people carry them off our backs. The only reason why Adidas is what it is because of us. They have that money because of us. And one way that you see it in itself is just a simple fact that the people who rock with Kanye stop messing with Adidas because they stopped messing with Kanye. And that right there, that move for those of y'all to move in that direction, give yourselves a hand for those of y'all who decided to separate. You understand? Just keep taking it even further than that. And this is even, a big call out to Kanye. Make sure you start putting your doggone money into the ISUPK and the brothers and sisters who have businesses in the ISUPK, because you know what? This is the real place where that dollar needs to be circulated, so that what Kanye has, what he does have in vision, what he is learning for himself, can actually come into fruition. Can only be done here. And I pray that y'all understand that, right? So we're gonna read that again from the top, just real quick. Thou shalt not raise a false report. Put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. You understand? So again, now y'all see that these and mind you, of all people, it's these brothers, these Judases at the end of the day, selling out their own. I mean, what's his name? Charles Barkley. And mind you, I'm not a big basketball fan. Honestly, I don't watch ESPN that much, so that's why I don't know these brothers' names like that, right? Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal. You understand? First of all, and let us not forget the so-called King James, LeBron James. Come on now. And I think y'all got it twisted when y'all try to say that this King James is a homosexual. When, LeBron King James was, doing the same thing as Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal by putting on women's clothing on camera. You understand? So, that's for everyone's viewing for the rest of the internet. You understand? These people have the audacity to put on women's clothing to pose as women, whether it's for a laugh, for a paycheck, what have you. But yet they're going to talk about a brother who wants to, who just made a tweet that he watched something and he found it enlightening and educational. Basically gave it a small shout out. And this man is a dummy. I believe now, I know Charles Barkley didn't say it exactly, but I do know along these lines, paraphrase what he said, shut up, nigga, and just dribble the ball. I can't quote exactly what he said, but because I can't remember, but I do know that he did say it was something along to them lines. You understand? If anybody is online that would, wouldn't mind posting up the exact quote that he made on referring to Kyrie Irving and the, and this whole anti-Semitic tweet that he supposedly had made, I'd appreciate it if you did post that in the chat. Go ahead, sis.
That's like you said. The thing that is so strange is like when I was watching the show, Dad Muhammad was saying how he overheard these white boys talking in a restaurant about the Kyrie Irving thing, right? Mm. So the one thing that stuck out was like, what exactly did Kyrie do? He didn't publish the book. He didn't write the movie. He didn't do any of that, right?
Right.
And the thing that is like so sad is because Charles Barkley, Shaq, and all the rest, they jumped on this bandwagon. Mm-hmm. They have thrown this young man under the bus for something he has not even done. The mm-hmm. Jewish man didn't go after the Amazon people. The Jewish man didn't go after the man who actually wrote the book or made the movie. Kyrie had nothing to do with that. Right. So this is the cowardness of people in Israel. Mm-hmm. That is truly the gift destroying the heart, because they just threw this brother under the bus, but he didn't do anything. He is wrongly convicted, and they're saying, "Yeah, crucify him, crucify him." See,
you kind of went right to where I was about to start talking again, and no sweat, because what you just said even damn near did the work for me of how I was going to explain how verse 8 and verse 1 go to, how they even tie together in the first doggone place. Because what you just said, a gift destroyed the heart. So whether it's from a doggone politician, business owner, what have you, these little small gifts, and y'all think it's gifts that they're giving you, they just giving you just the crumbs of crumbs, mind you. You understand? And you take that little gift and you hold it just so ever so cherishly to sell out your own brother and speak against your own brother, to the point where, and to wrap up verse 1, where, because what it says, that you should not raise a false report. They're putting a false report on this brother. First of all, to be anti-Semitic, by definition, he's not being anti-Semitic. Exactly. He can't be. And even if, let's just say he was a heathen and he was saying that. Let's just say a heathen did say that, which I've seen it all over Instagram where these heathens are like, but I do see it. I'm just like, you know what? I want them on my plantation. They obedient. They listen. They reasonable.
That's right.
But you understand, they recognize it and nobody is, calling out them white folk. Anybody that agrees with them. Who was another one? Shannon Sharp on that. What is it? Shannon or Sharp and Skip and Shannon, whatever the hell that show is called. Like I said, I don't really be watching that. But you understand, they're speaking against Kyrie and trying to throw dirt on him and his name. And this is the crazy thing. For what? So that you can still come on my ESPN talk show? So that you can have your own ESPN talk show? You're throwing him under the bus because obviously you have to talk about it. These people have to talk about it. They have no choice. But how they talk about it, they do have a choice. And this is what they're choosing to do, to throw their own brother under the bus. And mind you, what is that other topic that we are talking about from last week into this week? Is that Blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women need to come together as a people. You cannot be together if you're trying to constantly undermine the other. You understand? Where you're constantly throwing dirt on the other. And the crazy thing is for what? What are you really doing? What do you gain out of it? What do y'all gain out of it? Nothing of real value. Because you know what? I wouldn't trade $1 billion. I wouldn't trade $1 billion. I said $1 billion years. $1 billion for the brotherhood that I get out of the ISUPK. Because you know what? The brotherhood that we have in the ISUPK, it cannot be bought.
That's right.
There's not a price tag on it.
That's right.
You understand? Because you know what? At the end of the day, you have that type of money. So they got that. I don't know if anyone's hit that Powerball yet, right? Somebody hits that Powerball. I believe yesterday I had, it was 1.6 billion with a B dollars. If you hit it, right? What do you think is going to happen to the person that hits that Powerball? They're going to start getting people in their ear instantly. You should invest this. This is what you should do with your money. Woo. Instantly. All of a sudden, people are going to start being your friends. Family going to start being resurrected. And, now you the one that everybody likes.
That's right.
Because you got money. But you know what actually happens? I think the statistic was like something stupid high. It might be in the 90s, but I think like 80% of people who hit a big jackpot, you know what ended up happening? They go bankrupt. Because they don't know how to handle all that money. You understand? And part of the reason why they go bankrupt is because they listen to the people talk about something. This is what you should do, and woo. You understand? So when all that money is gone, and all them friends that you had is gone, you still wish you had that $1 billion? Or would you prefer to just have this type of brotherhood and sisterhood that we have in the ISUPK? You understand? Well, you don't have to worry about a brother or a sister trying to, throw dirt on your name because we have a democracy for a seat of power. We're going to vote on who's going to be the next Officer 5,000. Officer 5. No, come on. That's a game. Did the brother earn it? It's as simple as that. Let his works put him into that seat of power. You understand? Into that position. You understand? Sister said, Khan, they can keep the crumbs because what's waiting for us in the kingdom is far more grand. Nah, Khan says exactly. And that, that was actually another point I was going to, hit on. So, the why. You understand? Because you know what? It might be rough now, but you make that small little sacrifice, you know what? Just, I guess you could call it coasting, just getting by, whatever, just rocking out with your brothers and sisters, doing what you're supposed to be doing, which is following laws, statutes, and commandments. And what you get in the kingdom, I mean, just put it this way. We all will talk about how vivid and, crazy our imaginations can be and just the most absurd imagination, things that you can think of because your imagination is just that, what's the word? Just works that hard and that much, right? Scripture says that nobody has seen it, heard it, has even thought of how good it's going to be in the kingdom. Nobody, not a single person. You understand that? That's for these little stupid crumbs. is worth more now than that investment of just being and Mike, it's not even like you being ass much. Be a good brother to your brother. Be a good sister to your sister. Be a good brother to your sister. Be a good sister to your brother. Don't try to fuck them over every like. Don't try to screw them over any and every time that you get an opportunity.
That's right.
I mean, is that really so hard? Coming to the ISUPK, we'll show you just how not hard it is, how easy it is to actually love your brother, to actually love your sister. You understand? We're gonna drop down to verse 7 now. Keep thee far from a false matter, and the innocent and righteous slay thou not, for I will not justify the wicked. You understand? So first of all, Most High just said, man, he ain't gonna justify the wicked. So don't let yourself get caught up on being, look like you on either side. Don't play either side. Just be on my team so I can be on yours. You understand? And mind you, it says, keep thee far from a false matter. The only involvement that you should have in a false matter is being on that far end where you witness what actually happened and you're able to speak on that. You understand? Take for a prime example. I see you say a prime example. What's happening with Kyrie Irving and Kanye West, with us in the ISUPK. Ain't not a single brother or sister who's going to get caught up in the semantics or the conspiracy theories or anything like that for our minds to be changed as to what have actually happened. Right. We know what happened. Right. And we see it clear as day. Are we going to get involved in it? No. You ain't gonna get me caught up in this stupid lie. But you know what? I'm sure as hell gonna be watching, what the truth unfold. And that truth unfolded is manifold. You understand? And the innocent and righteous slay thou not. And that's as simple as it can be. Man, if they do not kill the innocent and the righteous. Right now, for those of y'all that are trying to bash Kyrie Irving or Kanye West, you are trying to slay the innocent. You understand? Because they are in that process of relearning. They are seeking out that knowledge so that they can be better than those of you that go out of their way to try to kill their own brother and sister. You understand? They want to be better for their people. And what the hell are you doing? Just bashing Kanye West, saying that he's crazy. Well, you know what? His crazy ass is right. You understand? The so-called Negro is the goddamn real Jew. He is the real Jew. He is an Israelite. He is he is part of the 12 tribes of God's chosen people. You understand? And you want to hate on him for that. You have something, sis? Go ahead.
Concert. So, and just thinking about that, neither one of them ever said anything anti. Kanye said, "We are Jews too." He never said they weren't. He said, "We are Jews also."
So I don't think he actually said too, as in also, because I remember rewatching that and I didn't hear also.
The word too, we are Jews too.
I think when he said two, because you know how he kind of talks, where he'll say da 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 da, and then two, like point number 2. I think that's what he was saying, because then he went in to talk about
he got Jewish friends. I love Jews. I got Jewish friends.
Okay, then you know what? You might be right. You might be right.
But my point was,
right.
He didn't say anything against them. He never said they weren't.
Mm-hmm.
He never said that, and neither did Kyrie. He never said anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I was also wondering, can you use this if you were battling against the homosexual? That what you read right there. Only because
23 and 7.
And the reason I ask is because they always say, "Well, God made me this way. God made me this way." But it's like he said he ain't gonna justify the wicked.
Yeah, because like what you just said, the like like how they'll say, oh, homosexuals were born homosexual. Well, first of all, keep thee far from a false matter. And you apply simple practicality, simple logic, and you know that every child grows up to be a product of the environment of which they came from. So in other words, the things that I say, the things that I do, all of that comes from what I grew up around. Yeah. And the same thing for you. Same thing for him, her, everyone. You understand? The things that you do, the way that you are, it's all a product of the environment of which you come from. So, why is it that you can have any number you want to throw out there? You can have as many children as possible. Not a single one is ever, doing any type of sexual comments, movements, innuendos, whatever. You understand? They never look like sexual little creatures, 3-4 years old, or even when they become teenagers. But yet you can go on the Instagram and you can see these little babies in diapers sitting there thrusting their hips, talking about little kids talking about, they want to get them some and get this, that, the other, talking like they full grown ass adults. What the hell you know about getting some? Tells me something about the environment of which you are being raised in. You understand? Y'all see how much that you can learn about somebody when you just simply be practical, when you simply just be logical. You leave all that emotional shit out the window. You understand? Either you letting them watch TV they ain't supposed to be watching, you saying something in front of them that you ain't supposed to be saying, or you doing something to them or in front of them you ain't supposed to be doing. Does it have to be any more complicated than that? You understand? Just like what I was saying in the very beginning of class, a lot of times in this school, actually majority of the time, when we ask y'all a question, you understand? The answer to the question is actually a whole lot more simpler than what you think. We overcomplicate it for whatever reason. We have to think about, where their mother came from, and maybe, there's a gay gene. And why do you have to be so complicated like that? Why can't you just look at the simple fact that when little kids aren't looking at pornography at 5 years old, they're not acting out pornographic actions. I pray that y'all understand this. And if you have a child at home that is conducting any type of pornographic actions where you just think like, what is wrong with this generation? It's your goddamn fault. You understand? It's your fault because you at the very bare minimum are allowing someone around that child that doesn't need to be around them. That's right. And if you just apply again practicality and be, you apply logical reasoning, and think about who that person is, I guarantee you before I even finish the sentence, those of y'all that are watching that, this applies to, you already know. You already pictured that person in your mind. I know, it's Uncle David. It's Uncle whomever. It's your boyfriend. You understand? And you know what? Women don't get no pass because some of y'all little nasty ass bitches be doing that shit too. Hell, where do you think R. Kelly got it from? That's right. Yeah, what was it? It was his aunt, was it his sister as well?
I believe it was a half sister and an auntie.
Half sister and his auntie. So y'all ain't so innocent either. Y'all don't get just a free doggone pass. I know in society, in the white man's world, they want to give a doggone pass to y'all bitches all the goddamn time. But you know what? The truth don't do that. Because the truth didn't give me no doggone pass, so the truth ain't gonna give you no doggone pass. And sometimes, if it applies to you, the truth is it's your nasty ass as well. You understand? We need to have more compassion and understanding for one another. Now, you exactly right. We do. And if I could, I know sis, you had said that, a little bit earlier. I'm just getting to that comment. That comment actually does apply to what I just said as well. If we actually had some compassion for our doggone children, for our doggone people, we want to be worrying about, we want to be worrying about, who's molesting my child, who's showing my children inappropriate things. So that now he's only 6 years old talking about mommy. They said that I'm a boy, but I want to be a girl. You understand? You're not going to have that issue. Slack you. All right, sis? Yes, sir?
What you just said, mommy, I'm boy, but I want to be a girl.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw that second part in there, the second part of 7,
Uh-huh.
all I could think about was when they were trying to pass this law that an 8-year-old can decide if they are male or female.
In California,
And that,
right?
Yeah. But
Yeah.
what that says is you're not supposed to hurt the innocent.
Exactly. No, and that's exactly what you're doing. That is exactly what, and the innocent and righteous thou slay not. You are murdering these people. You are murdering. You are a child murderer. You are an elderly murderer. If you do these things to these children, if you set them up for failure like that, for destruction like that, you are a murderer. And if you are hating on brothers like Kanye West and Kyrie Irving, again, you are a murderer because you are going out of your way to kill their name because you can't let go of that gift. Your mind is so destroyed that you can't let go of a gift, something that can be easily replaced, mind you. But that brother can't. That sister can't be replaced. Do you understand that? And of course, and Lord forbid it even happens, but of course, let there be a situation where Kanye West or Kyrie Irving, where their life is taken away, right? I said the Lord were to take their life away. All you two double-minded sick bastards that were talking about, trying to slander their names would flip side so quick, so hard, it would make me throw up. Because y'all would be talking about how much you loved him, how much he was this, how much he was that. Under your breath, still kind of slander his name because, you still got a piece of that gift. Y'all understand how disgusting this world is that we live in? Sis, do you see that? I know you see it, but you're on the right side of it, though, right? Just like what the scripture says, keep far from a false matter. You're on that far end, but you observing, you seeing how goddamn disgusting these bastards are.
Absolutely.
They slander your name. I got you. They slander your name today, and then tomorrow, when you pass, you give up that spirit. Oh, he was, such a great person, such this, such that. Man, if I could right now, right quick, and then I'll get to you, sis. Right. So there's an NFL football player who played for the Arizona Cardinals, who I guess today is his birthday, right? They made a post about him because it was that Arizona Cardinals dude who left the NFL to go to Iraq. He got himself killed, right? Somebody, I read in the comments, somebody said, like, such a great hero and, for his service and sacrifice for his nation, his people. I couldn't help myself. Like, what do you mean a hero? You do realize that the way that he died was from friendly fire, right? He didn't save it. He didn't do anything. You understand? And of course, everybody's running to his rescue. oh, this man died. Can't you just let people remember him in peace and this, that, in their way? I said, wait, hold on. So, but you still got to answer my question. What dignifies somebody to be a hero? We're just going to, tell me, right. What dignifies someone to be a hero? But just the simple fact that they went downrange, I don't think I'm a hero. I'm ashamed of what the hell I did, so I can. You understand? What dignifies him to be a hero? But then, mind you, you're talking about let's remember him in a certain way. So that means we should lie and put him on a pedestal. I put ... I said, oh wait, I forgot this is the American way. Being sarcastic. Because that is it. What did Tillman really do? And on TV, when he had passed, they did his little remembrance. And I remember watching the first football game after he had died. The position that he played, so they only had 10 people on the field, because the 11th would have been him and this, that, and the other, all the commercials, support America's troops, and all that nonsense, right? But they're trying to sell this propaganda that this man is an American hero, but the reason why he got killed is because he was an idiot. And I mean, of course, all these devils had an issue with me saying that on that thread, but that's what it is. You want to put him on this doggone pedestal? Hold on now. He's matter of fact, he's buried 6 feet under if he wasn't burned. But no, he is not. He don't deserve no pedestal. He's a fucking idiot. He should be used in all movement, all patrol training examples. If you ever get caught up in a situation where you think that you're shooting at your own uniforms, do not do what Tillman did. And you know what he did? Tillman got up and said, yo, we're American. Boom. No, you're not American. You're dead. You understand? You're a dead idiot at that. Y'all understand that? I refuse to put some dumbass on a goddamn pedestal when, you didn't even do anything. What did you do? The hero. You know who's a hero? Yahweh Mashiach. That's a goddamn hero. That's somebody that belongs on a freaking pedestal. Or for those of y'all that ain't hit to the Hebrew, Jesus Christ in the English. You understand? That's a goddamn hero. Moses is a goddamn hero. You understand? What the hell is his name Pat Tillman? I think it's Patrick Tillman, something like that. Man, Salak. Sis, you had something.
So I'm not gonna laugh at it, but it's like they made him a hero. So my question is, why the hell did he join the military in the first place? Because I'm sure they were over in a land they weren't supposed to be and killing people they weren't supposed to be killing. So he joined them. Nobody forced him to go over there.
He was a devil, so he trying to do what was right for his people. But see, now you done got me sparked up and started on another thing. These doggone people talk about some, what he did was a great thing for the freedom of his people. Man, I got on there. I said, American people. I got on there. I said, God damn it. And this dude said he was an Army Ranger, right? So he's Army Ranger ain't necessarily tier 1, but it's damn near tier 1. I said to him, dude, you do realize that the American freedom hasn't been what's the word? Threatened. Hasn't been threatened since World War II at the earliest. That's at the earliest. Mind you, there was no, there was the assault on Japan, or from Japan and Hawaii. But was Hawaii even a state yet? I think we just occupied it. It could be a state. But regardless, aside from Japan, just basically getting America into the war that they wanted to get into anyways, America's freedom hasn't been threatened ever. I mean, no one's really tried to invade America or even its ways. And mind you, you can't say that, people speaking their religious freedoms is an attack on American values, because that's an American value. That freedom of speech is American value.
Yeah.
You understand? And technically, if y'all think about it, to allow these other nations, I did see you, sis, to allow these other nations to practice their faith, their culture, the way that they do in their own country is literally an American value. Y'all see how ridiculous that sounds? Y'all see why I got out after I did one and done. Mind you, in the middle of my contract is when I started learning about Kamena Jana, Rocket Yahweh Yahweh Shai, give the Lord a hand. Save my dumb ass life. You understand? But y'all see how stupid that sounds? Oh, they're doing something over here that, we need to change. Well, that's their culture. But if they come over here, it's okay though. One of the big reasons they claim that they went to Afghanistan was because they had a lot of I can't think what they're called, but basically it's like this weird ritual that they would do where they would make the little boys between the ages of, I think, like 6 and 14, like they teach them this seductive dance and teach them how to put makeup on these dresses. And then the day of, they would go and seduce these men. And the men would, take his choosing and go and sleep with that boy. That was actually one reason why America claimed that they wanted to go and stop this. Team America World Police. They wanted to go and stop that in Afghanistan. Even though that I didn't see the Rangers kicking doors down for, what's his name? Epstein, the child trafficking dude. They ain't gonna kick their doors down. But hey, we're gonna overlook that because that's white culture in America, not brown culture and whatever culture. You got to do it here in America. You understand that? Where you can actually affect Blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women, where it's easier. You can have them in more abundance as your victims. That's okay. We'll overlook that. You understand? You had something, sis?
I was just thinking about the threat to America or the American way of living. I don't think they've ever had a threat, save the Civil War. That was the threat. When the North wanted to do their thing and the South wanted to do, that was the greatest threat they ever had. That's why they fought. But yeah, no outsider has.
No, yeah, because that's exactly what they said. If they give up slavery, this is going to, this is fighting against American values.
That's right. So there hasn't been one since the Civil War.
So the next time that y'all decide to swipe your card and buy you a MAGA hat, Make America Great Again hat, just think that part of the original American values that bloodshed was spilt for by the great white hope American people, y'all, the ancestors of this, forefathers of this land. It's like, I can't even say that with a straight face. That shit's so stupid. It's like, it's crazy what a little education actually does to you, though. It's like, you understand? That's the America that they say was great. That's the America that was actually destroyed. You understand? The ones where they had Blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women in chains, in slavery, building America for free. You understand that? I pray that y'all do understand that. Because when y'all sit here and vote for them, vote for America, making America great again, that's what you voting for. And you wonder why God's wrath continues to be kindled and burns hotter and hotter against his own people.
That's right.
Why, we become more and more destroyed because of look at what you are. You refuse to let go. No matter what the Most High shows you, you refuse to let go of Master's hand. You rather die right there with Leonardo DiCaprio holding his ass in Candyland right when Django sets off them TNTs. You would rather blow up in Candyland than just take a few steps out that door and say, fuck that white boy, I see freedoms. You understand me? It's a lot. You weren't supposed to laugh at that. I could have kept a straight face, but you didn't laugh. Yes, sister said, "Con, but let them tell it. That was a long time ago. That was the past." Shake my head, man. Sis, who are you trying to tell? And last thing, I'm gonna stop on my side note. Y'all know, because I believe you're an Israelite sister. You know what happened to a lot of the losers from the Civil War that lost in that was all part of the there was a Soviet Confederate Army. You know where they fled to?
Probably Mexico.
No.
Oh, Texas.
No. They're down. They fled to Venezuela, to Brazil. Guess who else fled there after World War II? Oh, it was the Nazis. I'm just saying, just a little quick fun fact about that. Just a little bit of a pattern that, can be seen in itself, right? When in reality, nothing's changed but the date. No, exactly, sis. Now you hitting it right on the head. Did you have anything else, sis?
I was just thinking about wherever they go, they just destroy everything that they touch, wherever they go.
No, facts.
Trail of bodies, wherever they go.
And facts. And, just to read, especially after what you just said, we're going to read that last line again. For I will not justify the wicked. You understand? So all that wickedness that comes out of that, politicking and whatnot, man, the Lord ain't going to defend them. You think I laugh at those of y'all that believe that the Lord has any type of mercy, love, what have you, for people like Joe Biden, Bush, Trump, Obama. Ain't no love. Hell no. Ain't no love for none of them. The dead presidents, no. I pray y'all understand. We're going to drop that. We're going to go to the book of Leviticus chapter 19, verse 11. And y'all will see, because obviously I'm saying that a lot of these, all right, I'm going to do a little breakdown with this one verse and talk about the, the political aspect of it, how this shows that you shouldn't vote, and then also how this also pertains to what's going on in, with Kyrie Irving and all of them. But what does that in itself tell you? What does that in itself say? Okay, does anybody want to take a stab at that? The fact that in one verse, in all of these verses, we're able to look at not only just why we shouldn't vote, but also, the same verse pertains to what the hell is going on with, Kyrie Irving and Kanye West and the people that are scrutinizing them. Give y'all online a little bit of time unless sister right here wants to take a stab at it.
So say your question again.
Why is it, or what does it say? The simple fact that the verses that I've been reading so far and will read, what does it say? The fact that those verses pertain to not only the politics and why we should not vote and get involved with their political field, but also the fact that it also pertains to the things that are going on with, you know, the whole Kyrie Irving and Kanye West situation.
So you mean it's because it's all about lying and cheating?
Okay, so lying and cheating.
You know, well, falsely accusing or testifying against your brothers and sisters. So we're not supposed to be dealing with them.
Right.
And they're all heathens that are doing this stuff anyway. We're not supposed to be doing what they do.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know what else would go with that.
Let's see if the sister wants to take a stab at it. So I'll give her a few more moments. And if you want to, you know, you are right though. You are right. I'm not knocking your answer.
No, I understand.
I'm not knocking your answer. Just give her a few. We'll give her about 15 seconds, and she didn't say nothing. I'll tell y'all what I was looking for myself.
Okay.
5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So what I was more so looking for was, you understand, there's still politics heavily involved in what's going on with Kyrie Irving and Kanye West in itself. You understand? So the sister Shonda Bates said, corruption and deceitful. Hey, Shalom Little Price, Officer of My Designs, good to see you in the class, sir. So yeah, corruption and deceitfulness. Yeah, you're right. Which, I mean, that in itself is basically the definition of being a politician. But it's that political involvement that is still involved with Kyrie Irving and Kanye West. And hell, there was political involvement that was dealt with the sellout.
Yeah.
With Nick Cannon. You understand? There's this one chick, and I did see you raise your hand. There's one chick who did a little video, and she's a fake Jew, and she explains that when they're raised in like a Jewish school and whatnot, where you get this whole cancellation thing, it's not people on Twitter and Facebook and Spotify that are canceling these people. Who it actually is the fake Jewish community, the fake Jewish community, right? They start that process from the time that they are. I think she said like the second grade, and then she was just like, so these are people who are very familiar with excommunicating someone, bringing them back in, making these types of things. They have plenty of as if that's what they're doing is supposed to be righteous, right? Just because somebody says something, and she gave an example about, like, I guess there's one kid in their class that broke a toy or something like that, and so they had to have this council on whether or not they were going to cancel him for the within the class or not. And she was just like, I was really proud because I think they made the right decision by not canceling him. It's like, fucking kid, what are you talking about? These are children. But you know what? Hey, these are also the same, political people that are also trying to push the fact that an 8-year-old in California should be able to dictate whether or not they want to keep their penis or if they want to obtain a penis. And if their parents, if the parents don't allow that to happen, that child can be taken by the state. You understand? Go ahead, sis.
You said the political thing, right?
Uh-huh.
And one of their higher ups, and I can't remember if it was Kanye he was talking about, if it was Kyrie, but his statement was that he was really glad that they put him in his place. And I think he was talking about Kanye. They speedily put him in his place, and it's like.
The fake Jews said that about Kanye.
Yes.
Okay.
That they put him in his place, and it's like, you guys are they're crazy.
And mind you, what is his place?
I don't know. I'm
considering the fact that now you got at least one company that's projected to go bankrupt. I mean, so in other words, he made your company even survive. let alone become, let alone even be profitable. So what is his place?
I'm still trying to work on it.
Especially when you take that into consideration. What is his place? Mind you, let us not all forget about, Kyrie Irving is losing his endorsements, one of them being from Nike, because of his anti-Semitic tweet, right? But Brett Favre still has his endorsement with Nike, although he was stealing from hungry children and homeless children, right? Mm-hmm. And then now apparently there's a drug scandal that is also being tied in to what Brett Favre was involved in. Where's the Jewish council cancellation council meeting for Brett Favre? Where is the list of companies and endorsements that want to cut ties with Brett Favre? Now he actually did something. He actually hurt people. He hurt innocent children. And we're upset because Kyrie Irving said, I found a book and a movie that was very interesting, informative, and enlightening for me. Yeah, anything else, sis?
I was just trying to figure out how he hurt the Jewish man. They got some Jewish rabbi from
If we do that, we'll never leave the class.
He was so hurt. And I'm like, how did what? I don't understand how Kyrie hurt you, but this Hebrew to Negroes or Negroes to Hebrew, whatever.
Yeah.
This is not something that's new. I saw that last year or 2 years ago.
No, right.
It's not new.
He just got around to it finally. And then spoke on it.
I mean, and it's been on Amazon forever.
Right.
So it's like something is really wrong over there. I guess the Most High said they crazy from the womb, paraphrasing. So yeah, they are.
No, facts. No, big facts. All right, so we're gonna move on. Book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 11. Right, Book of Leviticus, chapter 19, verse 11. Ye shall not steal, neither deal falsely, neither lie to one another. You understand? Now, as a politician, what do you think happens? They're stealing from the communities. They're constantly lying. Well, ye shall not steal. Politicians are thieves. Mind you, you know what the original politician's wage was when the founding fathers established the American government? Nothing. You're a public servant. A public servant. They had no wage. These men were still, not that I'm big upping them, but I mean, come on now. But what changed here? Y'all wanted them to start working full time? Why? When y'all voted for them, allowed these politicians to start working full time and to be able to take on a salary, you know what that also did? That allowed them to separate themselves from you. And why can't you take notes from that? They don't want to be like you. You understand? They want to have the upper hand. They separate, and they did. Man, when the Bible says that is the most subtle beast of the field, just think about it. Y'all did. A lot of people didn't know that politicians, the president, did not have a wage. That was a public servant. You can't even say it's a job. It was a service for the public. You understand? And mind you, at that time, they cared a little bit more about their political jobs. You know why? Because when they made a decision about upping a tax or doing this or doing that, it actually affected them.
Right.
But then they said, hey, you know what? What if we just set it up to where we separate ourselves? So now, because mind you, they don't get taxed. A government job does not get taxed. Politicians don't get taxed. The more you know, right? You know, education is a beautiful thing. Sister said, all this, all this is to cause confusion in order to continue the distraction of what is really going on and to keep us away from the truth. Now, Khan says, no, you're exactly right. You're exactly right. But in the midst of that, you know what? No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to leave it at that. You are right, sis. You are right. All right. They just want us to keep us continuously at odds with one another. And as soon as one of us starts to rise up, boom, enemy, let's attack him. Shaq, Shannon Sharp, Charles Barkley, get him. LeBron James, get him. They basically said, Coon Squad, get him. Tear this shit down. You understand? To keep us at odds with each other. Because as soon as we stop being at odds with one another, man, look at how quick that we build these other nations' economy, their kingdoms, just kingdom as a whole. Anything that falls under the term of what a kingdom entails. Look at how fast Blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women build that for the other nations.
That's right.
Now just wait. Imagine if we applied that time and effort for ourselves. Could y'all imagine? You can't, because no one's imagined the kingdom of heaven. Go ahead, sis.
That's a lot, sir. I was thinking that they did a full court press on Kyrie. Like, as soon as
they did a what?
A full court press. It's a basketball term.
Okay.
So as soon as Kanye, it's like they had him under this microscope. They were doing things, and then Kyrie surfaced. And it's like, oh my God, it's another fire. We got to put this out real quick. So they're saying, okay, all you Black people that's got some money, this is what's going to happen to you if you try and rise up against us, especially you Black men. You try and rise up against us. This how we're going to snuff you out, even though you didn't do anything. You know, now they've got prisons filled with Black men who are innocent. And now they locking them up on the outside as well. So they just put Kanye and Kyrie in prison, except they're still walking around.
You know, let us not forget that they did actually mess with Kanye's money.
Yeah, they did.
Now, and that's not by, you know, cutting ties with him. That's not what I'm referring to. His banks are cutting ties with him. Mm-hmm. He can't even just put his hundreds of millions of dollars into their bank. Now, mind y'all, I mean, I'm sure y'all got educated on this like I did. But what does a bank do when you put your money in it? They play the stock market with their money. So in other words, they borrow your money, make themselves more money, and put your money back. And that's also why they basically give you annual interests, for banking with them. With, when you have an X amount of money, amount for for a whole year, right? So you're going to tell me that you won't want to play with hundreds of millions of dollars in the stock market, mind you? Interesting. You'd rather lose money. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, I know what he could do. He could take those millions of dollars and bring them over to Commander General Yohana, and Commander General Yohana can put them in a whole bunch of banks or whatever.
Exactly.
So yeah, if he really wants to, make his money work for him, we can make it work.
No, facts. No, big facts. And that's why I was saying earlier. I mean, there's no better place to put your money and have your dollars circulate than within the brothers and sisters that are in the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana. You understand? Because hell, come to our cookout December 1st through the 4th out here in Las Vegas. Right. You understand? We will be having, brothers and sisters selling oils, they meat trees, whatever product, I actually might have a stall myself where me and my rib are selling handcrafted jewelry. I think we actually might get on that stall our doggone self and sell some stuff. You understand? Brothers and sisters going to help. It's brothers and sisters going to circulate that dollar within. And mind you, you know what chances are with some of the profit that I get that day? Hey, excuse me, Captain Tazari, you still got some leftover oils?
There you go.
And now that dollar just moved 3 times within one nation of people.
That's right.
And you know what the numbers say as far as how many times a dollar has to move within the same people's hands for a nation to be prosperous? I believe it's 3, 4 maybe. 3 or 4 times, right?
I think that's it.
I believe it's 3 or 4. You know how much the so-called Jewish man does it before it leaves outside of their community? It's 6 to 7 times.
Yeah. Like we used to.
Which mind you, it explains why they so goddamn filthy rich. They have 2 military, arguably 3 militaries. They've got the Israeli military, then they've got the big American military, and then they've got the British military. Y'all do realize that, right? Pick up a book, y'all. Pick up a book, black man, Latino man, and First Nation man and woman. Pick up a book and you'll read and see the things that I'm speaking on. I'm speaking of myself, the affiliation, the control that they have amongst each other, the way that they have things set up amongst themselves. You understand? So then that way, hey, you prosper, I protect you. I protect you, but you just allow me to do this. Let me run this experience. Let me do this, that, and the other. That's literally the agreement between America and the so-called Jews in Israel. Y'all understand that? Because mind you, the American man believes that is the Jewish man, that is the real Jew, that is the real chosen people of God. If they didn't, why did they go and bail them out of World War II and then fund them, not funded, but fund them billions with a B, billions of dollars annually for what?
To this very day.
Sounds like America's paying tithes, don't it? Can't pay your debts, but you sure as hell gonna pay them tithes, though, ain't you? Ain't that some shit? I can't even pay my doggone tithes before I have to pay my debt. And debt collectors gonna call your ass first 31st of the month. Ain't even 31 days in the goddamn month, and they gonna call you on the 31st. Talk about when you gonna pay this credit card, when you gonna pay this debt off, when you gonna pay that off. I ain't even get my damn check yet. You understand? I ain't even get to pay my taxes yet, let alone I didn't even get to pay my tithes. But America gonna pay their tithes. They ain't gonna pay off that debt they owe though. Ain't that crazy? It's a lot. All right, so we're dropping that. We're gonna go to the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 34 and verse 1. Right, 34. Ecclesiasticus 34 and verse 1. All right, sis says, I'll take the royal map as long as I'm in there. Right. Make this money. Work for his community. Exactly. Asians are similar. They only deal within their nation. I mean, hell, and that's why they got a doggone Chinatown in every major city. You understand? They literally send from Asia one child. They all fund money together as a big ass family unit for one child to come to America, get a college education, then they can, help him through all the debt. So as soon as he comes out of, he gets his doctorate degree and whatever, he comes out debt free, then starts bringing his family in, and they build from there. And a lot of times, that's how they get funded. All those little businesses that they have is all piggybacking off of that one dude or that one girl that they sent, and then they just do a rinse and repeat process from there. They have a system, a nation family value building system. You understand? So no, you're right, sis. All right, let's get on that. The book of Leviticus, chapter 34, verse 1. The hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false.
Ecclesiasticus, not Leviticus.
Cuss.
You just said Leviticus.
Did I say Leviticus? Oh, so I meant to say Ecclesiasticus, chapter 34 and verse 1. So like me. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 34 and verse 1. The hopes of a man the hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false, and dreams lift up fools. You understand? So the hopes of a man void of understanding are vain and false. What do y'all think that understanding is that is being referred to right here? What's the understanding? That a man is void of? America's dreams are truly for the foolish. No, facts. Sister said, would it be wisdom? Go ahead, sis. You raise your hand.
So you were asking about that first line, right?
Yes, kind of. What is the understanding it's referring to? It's like it's a general understanding.
Since the book belongs to us, it's about the understanding of keeping the statutes, the laws, and the commandments of the Most High.
Exactly. So what you said and what the sister Shonda Banks said as well, it being wisdom. She said, would it be like me in jeopardy? I'm just playing, sis. I'm just playing. Oh wait, no. Jeopardy says what is. Right now. All right, I messed that up. So like you, I was just teasing anyways, right? But no, y'all are both right. And because the way that you're right, sis, is our wisdom is following the law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? So of course that is the direct answer, but wisdom still is basically umbrellaed by that. So you're still correct as well, right? And dreams lift up fools. You understand? So obviously, to your point, if you ain't got wisdom, you a fool, right? So when you got a heathen loving brother talking about I have a dream, what's that going to do for all the brothers that have the same dream? It's going to lift them up and say, you know what? We might actually be able to sleep with some white women and there won't be an issue. You understand? I might not get my ass beaten, killed, like, everybody wants to talk about how, what these soldiers went through, what everybody went through for this to happen, right? Almost as if like what happened to Emmett Till was something revolutionary that needed to happen so that we can be lay down with white women, with they're not even women, with white dogs. You understand? And for you women as well that like to sleep with them white dogs as well. You understand? It applies to y'all as well. You understand? Dreams are false. No, you're right. You're right. Dreams are, I won't teach that. In the context of what we're reading right now, all right, what it's saying that, dreams lift up fools. This is talking about the dreams that a politician would be selling to, somebody who doesn't have understanding or is a fool, right? So what does a politician do to the, to the people of America, where majority of them are fools, especially the doggone heathens? Let's be honest, right? They sell them a dream. They sell them the American dream, the American values, the dream of America. We are so great and nobody can beat us, and just greatness all over again. You understand? Stop, sis. I'm trying to teach a class now. You understand? That's what these politicians are selling, right? So what it really is that they're selling false dreams. You understand? Something, just some made up la la land that, you know what? Ooh, this sound, I bet they eat this up. Same thing that they do in the Christian church. I see you. You understand? Khan, until that dream turns into reality, which is a nightmare. I mean, for Blacks, Hispanic, for Blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women, that's what those dreams are. It is a nightmare, because you know what that nightmare is? The condition that we are living in today, which is ill. And so that's part of my point to explaining to you, Ms. Shonda Banks, is that, I wouldn't necessarily teach that the dreams are false, because the hell that we are in is the dream of the heathen. You understand? But they do sell a dream to us so that they can buy our vote, that, we can have the same happiness and equality and same life that these so-called, that these white devils, these red devils, Salakia, that they live. You understand? We can have that life that they have for ourselves. You understand? Where the sky is the limit when it comes to how great you can be. Where in this, the devil's society, the devil's world, that'll never happen for a so-called Black, Latino, and First Nation man or woman. All right, I pray that you understand. You had something, sis?
Concert, I was just thinking that in order to have a dream, one must be asleep. And what America does is keep Black people, it keeps them sleeping, because, when you have people like doing stuff like Charles Barkley and them are doing now, they're asleep. Mm-hmm. And they're so asleep that they actually don't even see what's right before their very eyes. That's that American dream, because now they got dollars in the bank. They're living, but you have to stay asleep in order to have that dream.
No, facts.
It just ain't worth it.
No, facts.
It's just not worth it to be asleep.
And the thing is, while niggas is sleeping, while niggas is sleeping, you know what that devil is doing? Walking to and fro that earth, seeing where he can get rich all over again, and some more all over again. You understand? Khan, it's like the U.S. is great. Come live here, land of the free. Then they stick you in the ghettos and barrios. Not exactly, sis. Exactly. That is the life of our people. You understand? Living in America. And you know what? You can't even, technically, it's not even in America. Like when I was in Afghanistan, yeah, it was bad out there. But do you think that you would live as equals as those Afghanis, as a Black man, as a Black woman, as a Latino man or woman, as a First Nation man or woman, that they would look at you as equals? Where they say, you know what, hey, we're all on this shitty side of the mountain together. Come. You can share my poop rock that I finally just washed off, so that you can wipe that ass just as smoothly as I did. You think that that's what they're gonna do? No. You go find your own toilet rock paper thing. I don't even know what the hell you would call it. You understand? There would be no difference. So my point to that being is, are you Tawab, sis?
Concept.
My point to that being, sis, is not to say that you're incorrect, but it doesn't matter where we are. You can ask the brothers, the UK school that we have. You understand? They'll tell you, man, they go through the same nonsense that we go through. Then Benjamites that's over there in the UK go through the same nonsense that we go through. That school that's in the Netherlands, and they go through the same nonsense. And what did you say the population was for the devil? 80%
And I think it was like 80 or almost 90%.
Oh, I think Shemaiah had pulled that. Yeah, it was like 80 over. It said over 80% is what it said. You understand? No matter where we go, hell, even in parts of Mexico, in parts of South America, we don't even get to be treated as our own because they look at you. Oh, you're too dark. You know, you Mexican, your doggone self. You too dark. It doesn't matter where we go. We cannot escape our curses. There is no escaping our curses. You understand? Which is why it's so important. Why I say in the beginning of all of my classes that if there is a so-called Black, Latino, First Nation man or woman that may be on your timeline, it's important for you to that is on your timeline that wants to turn their life around for the better. It's important for you to make sure that you like and share all of these ISUPK classes, not just mine, not just Officer Shabal's. If it says ISUPK and it is certified by the ISUPK, it needs to be liked and shared.
That's right.
You understand? Because there is the only escape that we have is the refuge of the Most High God, and that is in the ISUPK.
That's right.
You understand? Kind of Haiti, Jamaica. No, exactly, sis. So you see what I'm saying? All right. So we're gonna go verse 2. Whoso regardeth dreams is like him that catcheth at a shadow and followeth after the wind. We're gonna read the next couple of verses, then we'll break it down. The vision of dreams is the resemblance of one thing to another, even as the likeness of a face to a face. Verse 4, of an unclean thing that can be cleansed. Wait, let me say that correctly because that was a question. Of an unclean thing, what can be cleansed? And from that thing which is false, what truth can come? We're going to break this down, right? Whoso regarded dreams is like him that catcheth at a shadow and followeth after the wind. First of all, someone that just, you follow after dream. Mind you, it already said that someone who is that a fool allows dreams to lift them up, right? So either the dreams that are sold to you, or maybe you literally go to sleep at night and you just have this great, wonderful dream, and you're just like, you know what? Wake up after that dream. This is my year. This is my month. Things are going to turn around because what? You slept with happy thoughts. You pictured happy thoughts one night. And that's going to take away from, hey, that bill collector's still going to call your phone.
Sure.
Them debts is still there. They still handling you down, keeping you from buying any type of land, keeping you from buying any type of property for yourself. You understand? All of that, that dream, what? And you see why it says that dreams, that a fool that allows dreams to lift them up is a fool, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you regard a dream as if it's something important, every time you have a good dream, it's like you trying to catch a shadow. Name me one person who caught a shadow. Or someone who follows after the wind. Mind you, the wind might be blowing real far this way about a good hour. And when it stops, what you gonna do? Because mind you, after it stops, why is it stopping? Because it's about to change directions. And quite frankly, it might be in the exact opposite direction you just walked. You just went from walking west, you went stagnant. Oh, okay, well, the wind's not here, so I should set up camp. Got the fire going, about to take out your bags and your little munchies, and then now it's going east. Well, I mean, hey, you fool. You better pack up shop and you better get to running so you can find wherever the hell that wind is taking you to. You see how ridiculous that sounds? You understand? I know I sound ridiculous just saying it. But the thing is that's really how some people act. Mind you, when people describe each other, they say, man, he's, that brother, that sister's so ditzy. They just go wherever the wind goes. Just wherever the wind goes. 1 minute they over there, then they back over here. Following the wind. You understand? Verse 3, the vision of dreams is the resemblance of one thing to another, even as the likeness of a face to a face. You understand? The vision of dreams is the resemblance of one thing to another. You understand? The resemblance of a dream. Look, at the end of the day, everything is going to seem the same, especially in a dream. You ever had a dream where you're like, you wake up and you say, oh man, that's me. Oh, it just felt just so familiar. It just felt so familiar. But you couldn't say that's where you were. But then the funny thing is, you end up going out that day and you show up somewhere and you're like, oh, this is what I was dreaming about. This is it. Do y'all hear how stupid that just sounded? Especially when you actually you kind of break it down and think about it. I mean, at the moment, of course, he's like, oh my God, like God is trying to give me a sign. He's trying to tell me something. I should be here. I remember my grandfather on my mother's side, mind you, you're devil. He used to tell me growing up that when you have deja vu, that's the angels telling you that you are at the right place at the right time. Man, I'm sorry, but I would never think that being in a foxhole was the right place at the right time. I think I just had a dream where it felt real familiar one time, and then my ass got, mind you, I play a lot of video games, so something about that scenery just seemed a little familiar, and I mean, or Grandpa Dicus is right. I was at the right place at the right time. I was supposed to get shot at in December of 2014. I was meant to get shot at in Kandahar in December 2014. Mm-hmm. You understand? That was what was supposed to happen. Okay. You understand? Y'all just hear just how ridiculous that sounds? And then when I give you a real scenario, come on now. Just quit trying to add meaning to every goddamn thing that you see and hear. You understand? Even as a likeness to a face to a face. It's funny how, you can look at somebody who you can look at someone and find the similarities of him to her, or him to him. You know what I'm saying? But is that the same face? No, but you'll sure as hell make it seem like it's the same exact face. Do I know you from somewhere? Make a big grand deal about it. You ain't never seen that person before in your life. You understand? And then verse 4, of an unclean thing, what can be cleansed? And from that thing which is false, what truth can come? You understand? So now you wrap all this thing together. Keep it with the, with the topic. What politician can we come across being crooked, being unclean, being wicked? Mind you, all of them being devils. How can you pick? And I can never for the life of me understand that concept, the meaning, or the concept in the saying, well, you just pick the lesser of two evils. What? So what you mean to tell me is I need to decide between whether or not I should either be okay with you allowing drag queens and LGBTQ culture being taught in the school, right? Or or, I should just be okay with, just get to it and just be okay with, what do they call it? It's there's an actual term for it where it's pedophilia, but there's an actual they have their own term. Shemaya had I think I just watched the video. Yeah, she sent me a video of this chick explaining it the other day. But I'm supposed to be okay with either y'all coming to the schools and teaching y'all values with the drag queen, or, just be okay with the people who are pedophiles. Huh?
The NAMBLA Association?
I'm not familiar with that, so no, not that one.
It's that man boy love thing.
No, it's pedophilia. It's basically just pedophilia. But they did have a special name for it. It wasn't NAMBLA though. It was something else. At least that the lady was talking about, right? The devil was talking about, right? I gotta choose the lesser between those two evils. Where, mind you, what happens with all those drag queens that was teaching them kids in them schools? They all got caught up for molesting the kids that they was reading them books to. So, which of the two evils do I choose now? Which one do I prefer now? And mind you, this is something that we really do have to consider. I'm actually not trying to be ridiculous, to make something sound stupid, to make something sound disgusting. I might be saying it wrong. The sister posted it. Hebephilia, and Tawada sis. She knows what I'm talking about though. Hebephilia might be. That sounds. Hebephilia sounds very unthreatening. So that might be what it is. That might be what it is. But you understand? These are the lesser of two evils that I have to choose between. Go ahead.
So like you said, if evil is evil. There's nothing less about it. It is just evil. You can't have a lesser of the two evils because evil is just evil. It's the truth is the truth and a lie is a lie. So evil is just
and you're right.
Evil.
So then, in other words, which evil? And, we're going to break it down logically, like these logical politicians and logical voters are trying to break it down to. Which evil would I rather deal with? Since because you're all right. You're 100% right by saying that there is no evil that is greater than the other. But yet, what's their response going to be? Okay, well, still, which evil would you rather? Which evil would you rather prefer? Would you rather deal with? Would you rather just, them teaching your children, reading books in the schools with, a grown ass man trying to dress up as a woman, and then who knows? It's just popcorn. Which one of the children that he reads to gets picked? It may be your child. It may not be your child that he molests, mind you. Or would you prefer the other evil, where it's an open, okay thing to be a hebephilia, to be hebephilia? Yeah, okay. I think that's what it is. You understand? So that's still what the question comes down to. That's still the situation it comes down to. Because either way, the direction of what we're all heading into is American society wants to be okay with all of it all around. Hell, we've been saying it in the ISUPK for a hot minute. Don't be surprised when they do normalize hebephilia. When they do normalize being a pedophile. And there's nothing you can do about it because this is who they are. And they can't help themselves. They were born this way. You understand? They can't help themselves. Now, mind you, there's no getting away from this. There's no getting away from casting votes that pertain to these things. So when you go put your ticket in or go punch that screen or raise your hand or whatever the process is to go and vote, like I've only done it once when I was 18. That was it. I voted for Obama. That's because my cousin just talked me into it. I wasn't even going to do it in the first place. I didn't care. He's just like, no, you should do it. All right, man. It's like, just shut up. I'll do it since I'm already with you. You understand? Which, you know, I was 18. I was young. Totally different person. But me casting that vote, you know what that said, though? You know what I said when I casted that vote? Everything that Obama was going for that term, I co-signed it. Everything. Not just the good, but the bad as well. There is no in between. The only way that you can be overlooked for someone who gets elected and it's your fault, supposedly it's your fault that they got elected, and all the good and the bad, you know, can't be traced back to you, is if you don't even vote in the first place. That's not my fault. That's y'all thing.
Yeah.
Y'all brought this in. And mind you, again, you brought in the drag queen, but if I would have voted for the other person, he would have just made it okay for all y'all to walk around, you know, with grown ass men being boyfriend and girlfriend with a goddamn 6-year-old. And I'm going to stay using that example. Because in my opinion, especially as a father who has a newborn on the way, and my boy is only 1, my eldest is 3, about to be 4. It's a little bit different when you put it into perspective, especially with the 4-year-old about to go into school. So you're trying to tell me that she's about eligible to not only decide that she wants to have a penis, but also if she gets selected to have to be somebody's girlfriend that is 30, 40, 50 years old, I'm supposed to be okay with that? Just because this devil said, you know what, I'm going to give you the poor, I'm going to give y'all a tax break. But what's tied with that bill is, and this is what they do it's called backdoor billing. What they do is they'll give you the tax break according to this bill, but all that fine print that ties with that bill, I got to be okay with the age of consent being a 40-year-old difference, a 50-year-old difference. I know in Nevada, the age of consent is a minimum of 16 years old, and it can be no more than a 10-year difference. So if you're 26 messing with a 16-year-old girl, it's fair game. Did y'all know that? You understand? So I'm supposed to choose between the lesser. You know what I choose? I choose neither of those. I choose to just serve the Lord. You understand? I'll just trust in the protection that the Lord will protect me and mine.
That's right.
You understand?
That's right.
And so far, I mean, hell, he ain't let me down not a single doggone time. You understand? All right, let's get another verse before we take off. We got another 7 minutes. We are going over the time of 9 o'clock, but we had some issues, so we're gonna make sure we get our full 2 hours in. So another 7 minutes, right? 6 minutes. Book of Psalms, chapter 118 and verse 8. Book of Psalms, chapter 118 and verse 8. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. Let me say that one more time before you read verse 9, right? It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. Sis, you want to go ahead and tell me real quick, why is it better to trust in the Lord than it is with man?
Well, if I was a betting person, I'd say that the Most High was a sure thing. You just.
Okay, see, you already saying what I want you.
It's a sure thing.
It's a sure thing, but give me more, especially after everything we just read about politicians and the things that are that's transpiring. Why we shouldn't vote. Give me more. He's a sure thing. Okay, why? Why is he a sure thing?
Because the Most High does not lie.
Thank you. Get us this goddamn hand.
He can't lie. People don't get it. He cannot lie.
The Most High, he's not lying. If he says it will be, it will be.
It is. That's right.
If he says it will be done, it will be done.
That's right.
If he says you will do it, you will do it. Mm-hmm. No matter how much you try to fight. Hell, goddamn it, ask Jonah. Mm-hmm. Ask Jonah about that. Mm-hmm. Jonah tried to flee. Jonah really thought that he can get around going to Nineveh. Man, they said, get off my ship. I'm done, dude. I want to live. Do what the Lord asked you to do, goddammit. And then a big ass fish swallowed his ass up and took him where he needed to go. If the Lord says something is going to be done, it will be done. You understand? Is the class for ISUPK still held in Victorville? You know what? So this is Olivia Arnold. Hey sis, so what I'll just say is contact Captain Gadalhar. Do you have his number? Let me know in the chat if you do, and then if you don't, you can also add him on Facebook, and you can message him directly and find that out. We're out here in Las Vegas, sis, so I'm not 100% sure about Victorville. All right. So let's go down to verse. No, matter of fact, we're going to read that one more time. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in man. Verse 9. It is better to trust in the Lord than to put confidence in princes. So it don't even matter what kind of what kind of stature. Stature, that's the word I want, that a man has. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if he's royalty. It doesn't matter if he is not a priest and prophet of the Most High God. There's you putting trust in that man. It don't matter. Just because he got a goddamn crown on his head don't make him his kingly words more important than what the Most High God has to say. You understand? Doesn't override what we just read right here. You understand? If any man's word goes against what the word of the Most High God's words are, say it again, sis.
So like he's an antichrist.
He's an antichrist, and you setting yourself up for failure. Believe his words. You're going to be set up for failure. Yes, I have it. His entry machine is full, and thanks. Okay, no sweat, sis. But John, you understand? You are setting yourself up for failure. All right? Oh, okay. Hey, Lord on Christ, sis. It's good to see you in the classroom. All right. We'll get one more in Proverbs chapter 8 and 15. The book of Proverbs chapter 8 and 15. And then we can end it on this one. We'll be at our 2 hours after this one. I didn't want to rob y'all of y'all time that I owe to y'all because of my mistake. Make sure y'all at least get y'all 2 hours. So like it for that as well. All right. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 8, verse 15. By me, kings reign. and princes decree justice. You understand? By me, kings reign, and princes decree justice. Now, mind you, right? What this is letting you know is that the Most High God puts everyone in their seat of power. All right? And those that are to take over that reign, to take over that seat of power, same thing applies. You understand? But y'all also have to understand this, right? And princes decree justice. Let's find out what that word decree means. Let's see. Decree. Decree. We'll use the verb because right here that's what applies. Order something by decree. Similar order, command, or rule. So we insert that, and princes decree justice. You know who those princes are? That's referring to right here. That king may reign, right? But who's the one that is going to be ordering that justice? It's his son. You understand? That king's son is going to be, requiring that justice. So that king is going, could be wicked, and that prince is going to see to it after that's done, after his term, his reign is over. That prince is going to want that justice, and something a direct similarity to that is, what do y'all think is going to happen once everything unfolds here in America? The princes of the power are going to decree justice. You understand? Matter of fact, some of the first ones I'm going to be hunting for, that I want justice for, are the goddamn devils that was trying to wish Tillman a happy birthday today on Facebook and had, wanted to argue with me that he was a hero. And everybody that liked all my comments, all the devils that liked it, you know what? I'm gonna allow them to do to give the lashes, to give the orders. I'll show them a little bit of mercy. You understand? Now, so with that, we're gonna close it up. All right. We are the ISUPK side of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana. I am Precinct Officer 500 or Rock out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. You understand? Make sure that y'all join in with us, man. Stay tuned in to our ISUPK Nevada YouTube page. Make sure that you subscribe to the page and hit the little bell button. That way you get all the notifications for all of our classes, right? Also go on to our Facebook, ISUPK Las Vegas. Like the page. Because you know what? There's plenty of y'all that are unaware of the Las Vegas West Coast Cookout. That's happening December 1st through the 4th. If you are Black, Latino, First Nation man or woman, and you would like to attend, come get yourself a plate. Come see what brotherhood, what sisterhood actually looks like, right? Amongst our people, where you can actually have a drink with a brother, just like a drink with brothers and sisters, and not see a single fight break out. You understand? Where we can actually come together and be cordial with one another, and just the utmost love from the four corners of the earth. You understand? If you actually want to see that for yourself, because you know what, I don't blame you for even thinking or believing that's something that's hard to believe, that Blacks, Latinos, and First Nation men and women are even able to do that, with their own communities. But yet, when we actually all come together as Israelites, that can still be a thing. Yeah. Let's try. Let's test that. I challenge you to allow us put that to the test, so you can see for yourself that under Commander General Yohana and the ISUPK, that can be attained.
That's right.
You understand? And so with that, Shalom Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai Barakatam to all the brothers. Shalom Yahweh Shamar Ilathah Ba'ashim Yahushai to the sisters. Class dismissed.